Hey, man, oh my goodness. So I've said it many times before, but it is no small task being assigned the executor or finding that you are the administrator of an estate. Now, let's think about this, okay, folks? Well, first, let me just take a little step back again. What's up, everyone? Courtney Rollins with Estate Pro Service and the Life and Transitions Experts podcast. Here, I talk deeply about the world of probate, particularly as it relates to real estate and probate, and as it relates to people going through different transitions in their life, such as losing a loved one and someone's estate need to be settled, as well as other life changes that happen, hopefully prior to that. Hopefully, you've been able to listen to this podcast or other podcasts or other work, and you have taken the steps to set up the right protection for your estate so that your family can avoid the probate process. Yes, so those are the type of things that we focus on, and we help out in many different ways. And that's what we're doing today. We're going to take a look at what are some of the responsibilities of the executor, but most important, what if you find that you don't or someone doesn't want to be the actual executor of an estate or the administrator of an estate? All right, so let's take a step back. Okay, so probate. When someone in North Carolina passes away with assets in their name, specifically in their name, they don't have legal instruments such as survivorship or joint ownership set up, or they don't have their things in a living trust, so it's in their name, then, and if it reaches a certain monetary value, the estate is found to be the gross value of it is over a certain threshold, then it has to go through the probate process. And this can be long, tedious, and involve a lot of steps and quite often a lot of money, depending on the size of the estate. So when a person dies testate, that means they have a testament, they have a last will and testament, and they, in that testament, last testament, will and testament, name someone as the executor. Then they're referred to as the executor or executress, but gender neutral executor. If that person passes away intestate, they don't have a will, then the court will often assign an administrator, and the probate is being administrated as opposed to going through the regular probate process. Just technical terms to denote if the decedent actually named that person. Now, in both cases, they're both executor or the administrator are quite often referred to as the personal representative. And there's still times when both the executor or the personal or the administrator find that they don't want to take on this role. Maybe they can't take on the role due to just life issues, or maybe it's just such a huge burden that they're just not able to. Maybe they're so far out of the area that they don't want to handle the situation. So what do you do in that case? Well, in that case, you would, if well, prior, I would just highly recommend that if you are doing a will, awesome, congratulations, that is great. If you do assign someone or a series of people as the executor, have a conversation with them. And if you find that after hearing this that you don't want to be that, then go ahead and let that person know so that they can, in their lifetime, find someone and have that peace of mind. You have the peace of mind, they have the peace of mind. So I highly recommend they have those conversations early and often early so that people can be aware and that you can continue to live your life with the freedom or the confidence knowing that you've put it in the right hands. But if the probate has not started yet and you're named the executor, you've been notified, or maybe you're the one to notify the courts of the passing of your of the person, of the loved one or the person that you know. Then at that time you can say, "Hey, I know I'm named the executor here, but I want to renounce my duties and I don't want to even start to do that." And they'll have you sign a letter of renunciation. Now, if the probate has started and you've already begun to be the executor or you were assigned the administrator, then you still have to sign those letters, but you also have to give a detailed account of everything that's taken place with the estate, bank accounts, things that you've drawn, things that you've done up to that point as you hand off the responsibilities. All right, so make sure that you're thinking about that. Now, it's not only family members who can serve as the executor or the administrator. Now, there is besides if it's not named in the will, there are a succession of priority of people who will have more priority in the court's case mind when they're appointing an administrator. For instance, a spouse, children, and things of that nature will have heavier credence. But there can be evidence or reason to show that it's to the better benefit of the estate for someone else to be nominated or to be the administrator. Some often folks will actually rely on their attorneys to be an administrator. Those are awesome, excellent, great, or even be named the executor. Prior, they can assign the attorney to handle the situation, and quite often they handle that in a very efficient way. You can actually have a corporate entity like a trust or someone be serve as the executor or the administrator. However, it's still beneficial to have at least somebody named as the individual to represent the trust, just so they can have some place where the buck stops and all. Now, if you find that you are out of state executor or administrator, then you're going to have someone in state assigned as the in-state agent, someone who boots on the ground, who's a North Carolina resident. And this gives them the legal authority to pick up and drop off legal documents and really complete tasks and stand in for you when you're not able to stand into. And that is very helpful too, because again, if you're out of state, it can be very challenging depending on your travel situations. Yeah, so the administrator, the executor is no small task. We would love to help you navigate the probate process wherever you are in the nation. I specialize in Durham County, North Carolina, in the Triangle area. However, the principles are very, very much the same in different areas. And even when they aren't, I have a connection to a nationwide network of vetted estate professionals, and we'll find the right person to help and support you through the process. All right. And feel free to come to my website, estateproservice.com, and sign up for a free consultation. Would love to chat with you and sit down and see how we can help serve and support you. Of course, as always, you can go check us out at Facebook, our Life and Transitions Expert podcast, or Facebook group. Would love for you to join, and especially if you're a professional out there. Maybe you're an attorney, or perhaps you work with senior transition or hospice or different areas that help people through these big transitions. Would love to interview you, would love to support the work that you're doing and get your voice and your work out there. At any rate, would love a 5-star review or just a review that you feel is deemed appropriate. Would love the feedback and would love to work with you in the future. Until then, rising tides, it lifts all sails.